Okay, hi everyone. So this is worksheet 2 and how to answer it. So first, what we should do is find that we want to compute the number of hours needed, okay? The cost per student to have that amount of progression from say a TOEIC 300 250 score to 350. And then lastly, what interventions are appropriate. So let's actually look at we put an example here from TOEIC 250, which is a CFR A2, to TOEIC 350, which is also a CFR A2. So that's kind of from a low A2 level to a high A2 level would take about, based on this table, 200 hours total. Okay, let's find that here. 200 hours total. So that's a 250 to 350. Let me show you what that looks like. Let's just use arrows. So that's from a 250 score to a 350 score. So you add another arrow from a 350 score. That's going to be 200 hours. Okay. All right. And then, okay, so that's 200 hours. And then it's going to take, we're going to be using free self-paced. So let's go to the next table. In this table, we show that the different types of interventions have different levels and they have different types of cost. So here, Duolingo only goes from A1 to A2. It's very basic. But you can have classroom learning go from A1 all the way to C1. And these are the OER that CHED will be sponsoring, and that will be self-paced. Do it on your own time. So they have different levels and different costs per hour. So doing a paid software like English Discoveries online, even if it's more expensive, it'll be like 900 pesos per level on a per hour basis. It comes out much cheaper because they can do it self-paced. And classroom is the most expensive because there's the teacher time, there's a classroom cost, there's a janitor, right? There's a bathroom, electricity, water, etc. So the classroom tends to be the most expensive because it has the most costs associated with it. Okay, but typically it performs really well from an efficacy standpoint, but from a cost standpoint, the best performing things would really be the self-paced learning because they're just so much cheaper on a per person basis. Okay, so going back, free self-paced is 1 peso per hour. I need 200 hours, so that's 200 pesos total. And all types of interventions are appropriate. So we'll do the next one before I jump to the answers. So from TOEIC 450, that's A2, to reaching a 550, which is the start of B1, how many hours do we need? So let's go to the table. Actually, you should pause now before I show the answer. So we're gonna do one more example. Pause now for the activity. So pause. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then now this is the next set of answers. So here we go. From 450 to 550, we're going to need a total of, let's just find another shape. 450 to 550 is 225 hours. Okay. So we're going to write that here. 225. It's going to be blended. So blended, if you remember, let's go back to blended. If you see here, blended is 25 pesos per student, and I can use that from A1 to C1. Here we go. Blended is 25x 225 hours. And when you multiply that together, that's going to be 5,000 pesos. And all the interventions would be appropriate. Okay? Okay, so that's the first two examples. And then in a while, just pause it. I'm going to show all the answers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, here are all the answers. So final, TOEIC 550 to 650, 225 hours, 50 pesos times 2 to 5 is 11,250. Just the end is what interventions are appropriate. So you can't use Duolingo yet from say B1 onwards, it's just too easy. It's not appropriate. So you'd have to use other things. So that's actually what changes from the beginner levels to the more advanced levels. So that is worksheet 2, and I'm going to put all the links in the descriptions below.